Getting a chance to sit down with offensive lineman Ben Freeman as we lead into the West Alabama game this week. And you guys, man, you playing some great football. How satisfying from an offensive line standpoint last week against Shorter? I mean, the way you guys ran the football, all kind of downhill, all gas, no brakes, right?
Yeah, no, that felt great. To see our running backs finally be able to just tear off a couple of runs like they did, there's really no more satisfying feeling as an offensive lineman than when you're straining, you're pushing your guy as hard as you can, for as long as you can. Then you start hearing the crowd get loud and you peek over and you can see, CJ just making a guy miss, or you see Jamontez running somebody over. And then I think one of the last drives when TJ got in, even he was making some great runs, being really physical. I mean, it was a lot of fun to finally be able to get that kind of production out of the run game, which we're always confident was there, but it wasn't always needed. So it was fun to finally get that opportunity.
Yeah, one thing that running backs obviously did a great job, but I mean, I'm calling the game, I'm looking up and I'm like, man, you guys up front, it's a 3 or 4 yard push off the line of scrimmage every time. And as a running back, that gives them time to find that hole, get through it quickly and make everybody move. Is that kind of the mindset? I mean, this was a unit that I think there was a lot of adjustment coming into the season. You had some experience with some guys who hadn't played a ton of snaps, and it's taken a couple weeks, but you feel like you're where you want to be now?
I think it's always a work in progress. I don't think we're ever going to be where we want to be, but that's what happens when you're at a program like the University of West Florida. You're always chasing perfection, knowing you'll never get there, but in the pursuit of that, you always get a little bit better. And that's a mentality we've kind of adopted from Coach Saunier, who is the best offensive line coach in the country. I love him to death. Everything that we do is we learn from him, and it's just that constant, straining, constantly moving, having the mentality of, moving the line of scrimmage, defining guys, making life easier for those running backs.
I was just going to mention Coach Saunier, and I would love to play for him. I just feel like that what he brings to the table, his personality, his intensity. But I got to ask you, do you ever wake up like in the middle of the night and like play this play? Like it just
you wake up and you find yourself walking around the house, foot fire, foot fire, foot fire, foot fire. I'll hear that until the day I die. I'll hear foot fire. I'll hear and play this play. I'll hear that until the day I die. I'll hear it in Coach Saunier's voice, and it'll automatically just snap me into, where am I? But I love him to death so much. I mean, I truly believe he's the best offensive line coach in the country.
You guys have got a guy back there, quarterback, who's almost the same size as most of you a little bit. But I mean, the time that you're giving him, I don't know if sometimes the fans can appreciate how much time he has. And he's running around and whatever. But like, if we counted the number of seconds, is it different blocking for a guy like Pee Wee because he is going to try to extend the play and try to make something happen?
It is. Pee Wee's a very unique player. Some people don't understand. This is my first year here, and being in another place, you really come to appreciate what he does as not just a quarterback, but as an athlete, because all five of us know, just give Seven enough time and something good's going to happen. Either he's going to make a crazy scramble and get a new set of downs, or he's going to throw some bomb to John or Caden, and it'll all be worth it. So every one of us trust him enough to just give Pee Wee enough time and something good's going to happen.
You got a chance to kind of slide in there as Oaks got moved over to center, and there've been that happens on an offensive line, injuries, and to be able to be flexible, guys like Chop and others to slide around, play different positions, that's a huge bonus.
It is. Coach Saunier wants to build the deep offensive line. It's not just, all right, we're going to have the best, all right, who's the best right tackle? Who's the best left guard? It's who are the best 5 players. And the best 5 players generally are going to be able to play more than one position. Coach Saunier's before the season even started, he's like, all right, so how do you feel about, moving to guard? Just how many different ways can you help this team? And all of us are bought in, not just the starting 5, but everyone below that. Everyone's willing, Coach, what do I need to do to help this team be more successful? And Chop's been playing a lot of guard recently, and he's really taken to it. He's been great at that role. And the second he has to play tackle, he's going to be fully invested in doing that and being the best tackle he can be. Colton started the season at right guard, but now he's at left, and he's taken to it, and he loves it to death. It's just we're all bought in to believe that coach is going to put me in the best place to be successful and to make this team successful.
It's a poster, but teamwork makes the dream work.
That's
right?
All five of us. If one person has an ego, it's not going to work well. All five of us got to be bought into have the games like we had against Shore.
You mentioned your first season here. Walk us through your journey to get to the University of West Florida and kind of how Ben wound up in Pensacola.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story, and me and Coach Sonny like to talk about it a lot. But I went to Blue Valley West High School in Overland Park, Kansas, about 45 minutes south of Kansas City. And then out of high school, I wasn't a heavily recruited player. I was never an all-state player, never one of those big name recruits. I went on a visit to the University to Northwest Missouri State. I want to say 2 weeks before signing day, got a little scholarship offer, and I took it because my high school team at that time, we were not very successful, and me and a couple of my buddies had kind of built up a culture there, and I wanted to go somewhere where I could reap the benefits of that kind of a winning culture. So I went 4 years there. I got my undergrad in exercise science, met a lot of great people, played with a lot of great guys, played for a lot of good coaches, and then realized, I kind of want to change the scenery. I want to.
It's a little nicer here, weather-wise. No offense to Northwest Missouri State.
The crazy thing
Coach
is,
Turgeon, I love those people.
I almost wasn't here. I was, looking at a lot of schools, and I was about to commit to another university, and I was I'll never forget, I was sitting in the basement of my parents' house, just laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling, just, what am I going to do? And I see my phone ring, and it's a Pensacola number, and it's, hello, and this is Caleb Nobles, the head coach of the University of West Florida. I don't know if you know anything about us. I'm like, hold on, West Florida. Yeah, I know who you are, coach. Got the call on a Tuesday, was up here on Friday, committed on Saturday, and, it was the best decision I've ever made.
Rest, they say, is history.
Yeah, rest is history.
So you're working on a master's now. What do you want to do post-football?
I'm working on my master's in coaching and performance. I really want to be a strength conditioning coach. So
there's a good dude here.
Yeah, Coach Morgan's he's not that bad. He's pretty good. So he was definitely a factor in bringing me here. That he's as well known as he is, and he's as talented of a coach as he is. So I'm hoping to get into the world of strength conditioning, training athletes, kind of stick around the sport as long as I can.
Well, we're glad to have you here with our organization, Ben. Appreciate you spending a little time with us.
Thank you, sir.